Here has been my legal strategy in a nutshell, because nothing actually works. Your rights are based upon how much money you have and how you look. So I know from experience that the moment you try turning in one of your predators and they find out about it, they're going to start playing victim. They're going to slander your name, tell people that you're mentally ill and dangerous, and they're afraid for their children, they're afraid for their lives because you're trying to turn them in. Well, they don't just call you mentally ill, they also make up lies about you. See, the whole point of gaslighting is to A, get people to not listen to your victim, and B, to get people who like you to go do harmful things to them for you. And then you can say, oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't make those people do it. No, you manipulated them by lying to them. Sure, you didn't make them do it, but you sure didn't tell the truth, and you sure didn't ask them to stop. Now, how about the police? What do? The exact same thing. You try to turn in a bad police officer. First of all, they're not supposed to force you to go to literally the police officer that you're trying to turn in. That's against the law. What it does is it allows the person who harmed you to coordinate with their friends and or coworkers to destroy any evidence that they may have. It also allows them to abuse their position of power. And here's their steps. They talk over you and tell you that you can't turn in any crimes that were committed against you. You should go to mental health. Then, of course, they taint the situation by telling the mental health place that they're sending you to that you're making shit up, you're schizophrenic, and you're delusional. Or they arrest you on false charges and hold you as long as possible, and then they have somebody try to get a protection order against you while you're incarcerated. They can use that later against you in criminal court, even though they did it illegally. They did it to intentionally prevent you from going to court. That's what the criminal charges are for. And it also puts on your record that you were arrested for something. And then they get to slander your name to professional type people, but you can't show them any of your evidence, and they are automatically going to believe literally anything that the police officer says. Anything that the police officers said, whether you've been found guilty or not, because you haven't been found guilty of what you're accused of. These quote unquote mental health evaluators, when they evaluate you, they have a whole bunch of stuff that they get to go by. And the main thing they go by is, what did the police officers say? That's about it. If you try to turn in a police officer and he tells the forensics evaluator that you're schizophrenic and delusional and that you were committing crimes, well, that person is going to assume what the police are telling them is the truth, and at that point has become judge, jury, and executioner. Because at that point, that forensics evaluator can keep all of your evidence out of court just by believing whatever it is that he's told by the police. So when you try to turn in a police officer and they run around telling everybody that you're schizophrenic and delusional and that you made all of this stuff about Natalie Bollinger up, these forensics evaluators are not going to bother to look it up. They're going to assume that it's a delusion. They're going to assume that you're making it up. And because you must be making it up, obviously nobody could be fucking assaulting you. No police officer could be hiding crimes that those police officers made. No officer could be assaulting you because you were trying to turn that officer in. These people could not possibly be retaliating against you because obviously the Natalie Bollinger situation is a delusion. Natalie apparently never existed in, well, nearly all of my court dates. Meanwhile, all of the abuse I'm taking is specifically over the Natalie Bollinger situation and the denial of my rights and prevention of me being allowed habeas corpus in a great many of these court dates. It wasn't just civil court dates I was prevented from going to. I was also prevented from going to criminal court dates for crimes that I either didn't commit or was forced to commit through coercion. And all of that over people not just threatening harm against my friends and family. My friends and family were telling me that people were actually approaching them in real life, and some of them were harmed. Now then, let's take a look at how many people were involved in the situation before Natalie was killed and just shortly after who are now dead. There's a pretty long list. There's Anna Hunka. She's dead. Christina Lushinger. She also went by Christine Buhit. She's dead. Janine Barrett is dead. How many more you want me to name off? Is that good enough? I'm going to go ahead and end this video.